being a family means you're a part of something very wonderful. This doesn't seem to be the case with the Kapoor family, which has existed since 1921. The brothers Rahul, a successful writer played by Fawad Khan, and Arjun, played by Siddharth Malhotra, have fallen out and have long since stopped living in their hometown. Even their parents Harsh, played by Rajat Kapoor, and Sunita, played by Ratna Parak Shah, grapple with a troubled marriage. Dadu, who is played by late Rishi Kapoor, seems to be the only normal person in the Kapoor's home, मगर उनको एक हार्ट अटैक हो जाता है, जिस वजह से दोनों भाई फिर वापस घर आ जाते हैं. While recovering in the hospital, Dadu expresses that his last wish is to take a family photo titled Kapoor and Sons since 1921, to see his family in one frame, united. So, without wasting any time further, let's see what learnings this movie contains. The first thing that strikes us is that the whole movie makes us think about acceptance. Have you ever had the problem of not being accepted, neither from the family nor from your own parents? या आपको कभी इस बात का डर था कि अगर आप खुलकर बात करेंगे तो आपको काबिल नहीं समझा जाएगा? कुछ ऐसी ही फीलिंग्स हमारे दोनों भाई महसूस कर रहे थे. Let's start with the younger one, अर्जुन. अर्जुन ने अपनी पढ़ाई मुकम्मल नहीं की. जब उसने फोटोग्राफी को स्टार्ट किया तो उसे भी छोड़ दिया. And the same applies for the business he had started. अब वो एक बार में पार्ट टाइम जॉब करता है और अपनी किताब लिख रहा है. Because of all this, Arjun is not that accepted by the family. उसे as the loser of the family देखा जाता है. फिल्म में दिखाया जाता है कि फैमिली उसे बिल्कुल सपोर्ट नहीं करती. In fact, his dad always mocks him. पूरी फैमिली उसे सीरियस नहीं लेती, बल्कि एक ऐसी नजर से देखती है जिसे कोई काम नहीं होता और जो ना ही इस काबिल है फैमिली मैटर्स में साथ बात करने की.
तुझे बोला है ना यार, ये कोई एमएनएम का पैकेट नहीं है जो जेब से निकाला सब खुश हो गए. स्टे आउट ऑफ इट.
उसकी माँ ने भी उसे इस काबिल नहीं समझा कि वो एक नॉवेल लिख सकता है, इसलिए उसकी माँ ने उसकी ही नॉवेल उसके बड़े भाई को दे दी. इन चीजों की वजह से he starts hating them. And instead of talking to them, he prefers to be on his phone because he knows that nobody is interested in his life anyway. दूसरी तरफ, we have the successful and best-selling author Rahul. He is loved by his parents. अपनी माँ के लिए वो the perfect son है. In contrast to Arjun, Rahul has no problem seeking the parents' attention. राहुल के मगर कुछ और ही मसले हैं जिससे वो struggle कर रहा है. He is gay and nobody knows anything about it. उसे ये डर था कि अगर उसने अपने पेरेंट्स को ये बता दिया तो वो इस बात को समझ नहीं पाएंगे कि वो एक मर्द को चाहता है. And exactly what he was afraid of happened. The mother was disgusted by him and initially didn't believe him. But why is it so difficult to accept your own children? Dear viewers, family is the place where acceptance and validations are most needed, but often the hardest to find. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए. हमें अपने बच्चों को एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए जैसे कि वो हैं. वो चाहे कोई बीमारी हो या the affection of the opposite gender as in the case with Rahul. You not only harm the child but also yourself. You destroy yourself more and more inside. Sunita never admitted that she was doing badly, मगर दादू के मुताबिक वो बिल्कुल थक चुकी थी और हर रात रोती थी. तो इस प्रॉब्लम का एक ही हल था, to accept the child. उसने अपने बच्चों को एक्सेप्ट करना सीख लिया था. She went to Rahul and asked him how his friend was doing, even if she was still uncomfortable with it. She took the step and tried to meet her son. She also accommodated Arjun. उसे इस बात का एहसास हुआ था that she didn't treat her sons equally and even neglected Arjun in certain aspects. That is why she restored Arjun's whole room as it was before. दोनों scenes में नजर आता है how happy both of them are. Arjun even gifted her the first draft of his novel. और राहुल भी इस बात से खुश था कि उसकी माँ ने किसी ना किसी तरह उसे एक्सेप्ट करना सीख ही लिया था. And as you can see, everyone seems to be relieved after it. क्या आपको कभी एक ऐसी सिचुएशन का सामना करना पड़ा जहां आपने कहा हो कि काश मैं ये कर लेता और उसके ना करने की वजह से पूरी सिचुएशन ही खराब हो गई जिसे अब आप भूल नहीं पाते? Tia experienced something similar when she was a little kid. Her parents were traveling back to India. जिस दिन टिया के पेरेंट्स वापस आ रहे थे was the day Tia had her birthday. Her parents couldn't attend her birthday और इस वजह से अपने पेरेंट्स से बहुत नाराज थी. Before the parents got on the plane, however, they called Tia again to talk to her. उस समय आके उसने कहा कि वो वापस आई ही नहीं क्योंकि वो जैसे भी है खुश है. She would be much better on her own. The plane in which the parents were sitting crashed and both of them died. उस हादसे की वजह से टिया अपने हर बर्थडे पर उदास रहती है. She always regrets the last moment with her parents. उसे वो फोन कॉल याद आ जाता है और इस बात का रिग्रेट रहता है कि वो कितना कुछ बोल सकती थी जो वो कह नहीं पाई। कपूर फैमिली के साथ कुछ ऐसा ही होता है जब उन्हें पता चल जाता है कि उनके फादर का अफेयर चल रहा है। लड़ाई की वजह से he drove away and moments later he is killed in a terrible accident. उसी दिन से कपूर फैमिली की जिंदगियां बदल जाती हैं। Just like with Tia, no one could have known that this would be the last day they would talk to their father. So this shows that you basically never know how old you will get and when you will die. दादू को इसी बात का एहसास हो जाता है और इसी वजह से वो अपने दोनों पोतों को बुला लेता है। हर इंसान गलतियां करता है, but still you don't abandon your family. So dear audience, we should therefore enjoy our moments with people and choose our actions wisely. हमें जिंदगी पूरी तरीके से enjoy करनी चाहिए because life has no age. We never know when we will experience the last moment ourselves or with the person. क्योंकि
क्या पता कल हो ना हो।
दुनिया में 3 किस्म के इंसान होते हैं: स्मार्ट पीपल, इंटेलिजेंट पीपल एंड स्टूपिड पीपल। स्मार्ट वो होते हैं जो अपनी गलतियों से सीखते हैं, like the character of Arjun who accepts his fault and changes his end of the novel, which gets him a contract. इंटेलिजेंट वो होते हैं जो दूसरों की गलतियों से सीखते हैं, और स्टूपिड वो होते हैं जो ना ही अपनी गलतियों से और ना ही दूसरों की गलतियों से सीखते हैं। एक गलती एक लम्हे की होती है जो हमारे जज्बात की वजह से होती है, लेकिन कई दफा एक छोटी सी गलती एक फैमिली को डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकती है या फिर एक रिश्ते को which was built with love, time and affection. हर्ष ने एक गलती की. He started an affair with a colleague and is not able to solve the conflict and dies in an accident. Even though Harsh has children, but making one mistake and following his temptation had destroyed his relationship, not only with his wife, but his children are also hurt and disappointed. And in the end, he left them without being able to solve his mistake. Not only Harsh makes a mistake, बल्कि movie multiple characters की गलतियां दिखाती है. Arjun's mom, who mistakenly gives his story to his brother without even thinking about Arjun, who according to her is not serious in life. Tia, who doesn't talk appropriately to her parents before they die, and she is just living with this guilt. And Arjun, who just assumes that his brother has stolen her story. But at the same time, the film also shows us कि उनको अपनी गलती का एहसास है और वो उसको सुधारने की कोशिश करते हैं. The mother who apologizes and understands her fault. Tia, who understands that she isn't able to change her parents' death and starts living her life again. Arjun, who realizes that his brother didn't copy his novel and listen to Rahul's advice. And finally, Arjun's father, who tries to come up for Sunita. So as we can see, we make mistakes more than once, but what matters is that we get up, dust ourselves off and move on. क्योंकि हर इंसान गलतियां करता है और हर गलती में कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. That is life's way of teaching us lessons. And sometimes they come in a hard way. और फिल्म में ये hard way हर्ष का एक्सीडेंट होता है where he dies and suddenly the family is traumatized. उनको एहसास होता है कि उनका बाप इस दुनिया से चला गया है without even making up for his mistakes. And that is the moment the family gets even closer. So mistakes are important to help define our today and our tomorrow. It shapes us, it makes us better. But we also need to realize our mistake and try to correct it before it's too late. और सबसे जरूरी बात तो ये है कि गलती अहमियत नहीं रखती, लेकिन उसे हमें क्या सीखने को मिलता है वो बहुत अहमियत रखती है. We should therefore try to become smart people who learn from their own and from others' mistakes. First, we need to differentiate between two nouns: miscommunication and misunderstanding. Miscommunication is an interaction between two parties in which information was not communicated as desired. And when a mistake is made, this miscommunication leads to a misunderstanding. ये समझकर अब हम इस लर्निंग की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं. The Kapoor family smiles for pictures, lives and loves together, but also argues and deals with problems. कुछ फैमिलीज की प्रॉब्लम्स बात करने से ठीक हो जाती हैं और कुछ फैमिलीज को वक्त चाहिए होता है अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स को सुधारने का. इतना वक्त के इंसान वक्त के साथ साथ वो प्रॉब्लम्स भूल ही जाता है या फिर उसके साथ जीना सीख लेता है, जैसे कि अर्जुन जो अपने भाई से बस दूर ही हो जाता है. Or maybe one is just not ready to talk because he or she knows that the outcome will be the same or might get worse. और ये मसले ज्यादातर मिसकम्युनिकेशन की वजह से होते हैं जो दूसरी तरफ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग बन जाते हैं. Rahul and Arjun never talked about their book. If they would, then Arjun would know कि राहुल ने उसकी नोवेल का आइडिया चोरी नहीं किया, बल्कि उसकी मदर ने उसका आइडिया राहुल को दे दिया था. And even Tia says कि शायद राहुल ने उसकी स्टोरी चोरी नहीं की, and might be a coincidence. So that little miscommunication leads to the outcome that both brothers live a life distance from each other and just come home after hearing about their grandfather who is eventually dying. Even quite in the end, when Arjun sees that Rahul has read his script, he just goes to argue with him क्योंकि उसको लगता है कि वो उसकी कहानी फिर चोरी कर लेगा. लेकिन इस बार खुल के बात करने से यानी कम्युनिकेशन से बेशक लड़ाई के साथ a misunderstanding is not created. और आखिर में ये भी पता चलता है that Rahul gives Arjun a good advice for his novel.
तभी तो हम वही खुशी कहानियों में तलाश करते हैं.
जिस वजह से उसे मूवी के आखिर में एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफर किया जाता है. Another misunderstanding which is mentioned in the movie is the scene when Arjun sees his room and then goes into Rahul's room. He just thinks that his mother didn't let his room be the same, but Rahul's room is the same. But during the film, both get to know that actually the parents started living separately after the boys left and his mother started living in Arjun's room. But again, because of miscommunication, a misunderstanding is caused. इसलिए एक दूसरे से खुल के बात करनी चाहिए. अगर कोई मसला है तो उसको डिस्कस करना चाहिए so that no miscommunication occurs. And even if there is a misunderstanding, one should talk about it instead of just basing your life around and destroying your happy moments. हमारी जिंदगी में कितनी दफा ऐसा होता है कि हम दूसरों की लाइफ को देखते हैं, जैसे अर्जुन टिया की या अपने भाई राहुल की, दादू अपने दोस्तों की या सुनीता अपनी बहन की. हम ये सोचते हैं कि वो दूसरा कितना खुश है और उसकी लाइफ इतनी अच्छी गुजर रही है. And at the same time, our life is so miserable and nothing is working out. Arjun admires the relationship between his older brother and his parents. Rahul is the perfect son and Arjun just wants to be like him and be accepted by his parents. But Rahul has his own problem. He just has a mask on to show that he is the perfect son. लेकिन वो अपनी असलियत अपने पेरेंट्स को बता ही नहीं पाता. But at the same time, Arjun also admires the life of Tia, who doesn't have any siblings.
तुम्हारे कोई भाई बहन है?
No, one and only.
Wow, so lucky यार.
So he doesn't know that Tia lost her parents and just thinks her life is better than his. But in the end, जब अर्जुन का बाप मर जाता है, he says,
तुम्हारा दर्द समझ तो गया था, लेकिन आज महसूस कर रहा हूँ.
and that is the moment Tia gives him hope by saying that his family is still there. But not only Arjun, other characters in the movie are also going through their own problems. Dadu wants to die and be buried next to his army friends, but he isn't able to. And then his son dies before him. The father who failed his business and is struggling with money and even starts an affair with a colleague. The mother who wants to start a catering business because her sister's business is going so well, but no one is supporting her. Rahul, who secretly lives a life with the man because he is afraid to tell his parent and is not able to find a good story for his next book. And last but not least, Tia, who wants to sell the house of her parents but emotionally is not ready for it. तो हर कैरेक्टर अपने मसलों में सुलझा हुआ है और उनको सुधारने की कोशिश में लगा हुआ है. And in the end, one can see that some problems are solved. For example, Arjun, who changed the end of his novel and gets a contract. Rahul, who can finally live his life without putting a mask on. And Sunita, who is able to start her catering business. So instead of admiring other people's life, we should concentrate and live our own life. And in this life, we shouldn't let our emotions and expectation overcome reality, because no one's life is perfect and there are always ups and downs in everyone's life. So always keep in mind that we should never judge a book by its cover. और हमारी जिंदगी हमारे हाथ में है और हम उसको मेहनत और कोशिश से बदल सकते हैं. Dear viewers, we have reached the end of the video. जैसा कि आप सब ने देखा, Kapoor and Sons contains a lot of learnings which are really important to mention. Because life has no age और क्या पता ये कहने को दोबारा कब मौका मिले. Let's repeat what we have learned from Kapoor and Sons. Number 1, accept the child as it is and don't neglect it. Number 2, we should choose our actions wisely because we never know when we are living our last days ourselves or with someone else. Number 3, everyone makes mistakes. Number 4, some problems occur because of miscommunication and misunderstanding. And number 5, we want what the other has in life without realizing their ups and downs. And with this in mind, we end this episode in the hope that you enjoyed it. We hope you liked our video. Please like and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family. Feel free to comment. See you next time.